I feel like I just touched it. Just waiting for viewers to tune in. Maybe I'll just have a piece of it. It's weird to kind of eat it with juice, but yeah, if I have it at 11, it's not really happy. If I can even get into them to begin with. Both sides. Very nice ice cream though. Even with it down, it's actually better color than my other one, so I might not need that draft thing. Perfect timing. I'm just about to go settle into this stream. Sorry for the movement. I'm just relocating from the kitchen to the living room for a little while. Thanks for the like. And I'll make dinner in a bit. Hello, Dawson's Game Zone. How are you? Welcome to the stream. Consciousness. So, first time to the... Just making sure that you're still here. The indicator might be... Okay, yeah. I think you are. Curious, first time to the channel, how you came across it. Thanks for the very quick sub. I don't know, maybe it doesn't usually matter to you what the channel's about. You're just happy to sub to people that seem cool, and I am as I seem. Not to sound like I have an ego, just a healthy one. And I'm sure you're pretty cool too, so I just hope you play kosher games. Other than that, I'm not much of a gamer. Dawson, if that's your first name though, it's a really neat first name. Haven't heard it since that TV show, really, I think. In that, I don't know if that's a topic I'd want to talk about. Music always seems to be a fairly category, but I don't really have. I guess I do have a little bit of a topic. I love your videos and I like your stream. Oh, well, thank you. So you have seen more than just this one, by the sounds of it. You were just a little bit shy initially to say anything, and now you're not. That's cool. I thought I had another water here to add that with, but that's right, I brought it out there. So yeah, basically, no odd comments, please. I mean, I'm okay with a little bit of eccentric, and I mean, sorry if someone feels like they're having an issue with their pet. I heard possums are actually beneficial. They eat certain bugs or something, or they do something, but they are kind of creepy. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just going to open this up on the other device so I can hopefully see comments as they come through. Hello, Unbroken Spirit. Oh, I think I recognize your image. It's Luke. Going by something else now. You know, I haven't been in Dave's lately, and there's a bit of a reason. He's probably rolling now. He is. By choice, though. But I had been for a while, and neither of us had seen you. So if you're Luke, and it looks like you are by your picture, even though I'm only seeing a small version of it, It's really nice to see you again. I haven't seen either of you actually, so don't worry. You might not run into you know who in here, and if you do, I hope that you're still able to get along. Not necessarily, really. Um, Basically, he put me on a TO on a couple different of occasions, and I don't know why. Not even just slow mode, in general. So I'm not really sure what that was about, but it PO'd me. And I have a pending comment, or I have a comment out there on one of the videos. Whoops, why is that starting? Sorry, just a minute. Mark and Kelly are trying to, but they're probably sleeping. Anyway, so I asked him there, and he hasn't gotten back yet. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna. I don't want anybody who tunes in, although you'll probably comment pretty actively. Hopefully, you're able to stay for a little while. I have icing on my lip, but just don't want anyone to think that anything I'm saying is weird because that never happens. If you haven't liked yet, and I don't think you have, because actually I know who the only other like is from at the moment, I welcome you to do so, please. And and yeah, how have you been? And to the other two, you're welcome to join in. I'm just getting started. I'm not even 10 minutes into this yet, but you're welcome to join into the conversation. If there's something that you have a passion about, or what I really live to help others, I really appreciate the opportunity to get to do that. If there's a need, Luke, did you like yet? Just checking. Right. Trying to remember what kind of work you do. At the moment, it's not coming to me. Um. Okay. Yeah. So, is that new though? Is that were you doing something else last time we talked? um. So I do have some things on my other screen here I could maybe reference, and I also have a dog that looks like he wants to be noisy and be outside being noisy. But in the whole wide world, there's lots of people whose dogs are outside being noisy, and they could just be responding to sounds that most likely they are, and protecting their home. Um, um, but yeah, okay. Hmm. I know who the other two likes have came from, by the way, and it's not you, so I don't know if you're trying and it's not sticking, but other than that, yeah, if there's anything that you'd like support around, how's your massage appointment going? Just kidding. Sorry, yeah, I shouldn't, yeah, that might be a hot button question. So forget I asked it, unless of course you'd like to say, and then I'd be curious your answer. I'll just put lotion on. But yeah, uh, TV show you can rewatch forever. Okay, well, that's the second time where it seems like maybe we're meant to talk about TV shows. As long as they aren't, not with nobody here, but I'm pretty sure you are, Luke. As long as they aren't like troubling content, like as long as they're, I don't want to like spell it right out, but I think that there are more types of TV shows that I'm okay with than there is movies. But I'm also pretty open minded about movies. But I'm definitely not into certain types. Um, I'm just referencing my other device here for a moment. I have something that I have typed here. Luke, are you still there? Just checking. Um, I think I might. Whoops. That seemed to have kind of changed the sequence of how that was typed. I don't know how I would have done that in this. But I'm going to take that part and I'm going to add it um, to things here. I've just felt awkward asking him during his stream. Maybe I will though. I don't know. I'm curious if you went over there, but I'm thinking Luke's phone maybe died, or let me just see here. Oliver's there. Hmm. I got the radio on, the fan on, and I'm not too sure I'd hear his response very well otherwise. That's good, except for he writes certain types of content in his book, which makes that statement kind of confusing. Um, anyway, I noticed that we have somebody here, so I want to focus. I don't know if it's Luke that is back, or if his phone died, or he had to go for a dog walk, and then he's coming back. I'm not sure what's going on. He's only here for a few comments, but he's someone I'm familiar with, and I don't think he would just leave abruptly on purpose. Um, and it looks like it sounds like the dog wants back in, so just a moment. If you have a topic you'd like to introduce, something you have a passion about talking about, or um, something you might feel the need for support around, or something that you feel, this could go with the first part, that you feel um, you give good advice about. I mean, I don't know if I need any, but I do have a bit of a topic, and what I'm actually thinking of doing is looking. I mean, that doesn't mean that we can't, talk in general. Is looking at it and then probably starting dinner. Okay, just you need to leave it open because you went right to Tuesday. Okay, the dog. So um, just looking at something I wrote earlier and deciding if there's any of it that I'd like to bring into this. Um, I did. I did. I was watching something earlier today, and it gave me a couple of deep thoughts. I'd really rather wait till I was for sure that there was somebody watching, though. Um, so Don't know if I would have called that a movie. He didn't like either. I'm sure he would have. Hmm. No, we were talking about that. So I was just watching something during a quiet spot. So let me go back to what I was looking at here for a moment. So yeah, I was watching something and had kind of a couple interesting deep realizations that might resonate with viewers as well. Just looking at my other screen to read them out. Um, One is about health, um, and conditions which can be brought about through genetics. But you know, there is one condition I'm thinking of, um, um, which has other factors too. And I think that guy that was at that event over the holidays, I don't know if you actually can curve or you can really change your genetic um, makeup. Um, but I'm just going to wait to finish that thought till I know that somebody's here. I think we just missed Oliver. Unless he's just coming here. Um, so where I put in my little writing here, um, that it's more than just in genetics for like diabetes, but kind of maybe other conditions too. It's hard because you know life is a chapstick if you're curious, chapstick if you're not kind of thing. I was kidding. Is a kind of a mixed bag of experiences, right? But if you are careful with ask your future self, oh, that's a good question. Oh, I'm gonna have to look at that question in a moment. That's a really good Q&A question that that sticker just suggested. I'm going to finish my previous thought. If you haven't been here to hear it, you can just hear it from where we're at. But again, better when there's not a flasher that... Okay. Yeah, so basically, it has to do with how many more great experiences and good times you can have in your life. The more careful you are about, you know, how much sugar you have. That's not the only thing this is about, but it's just a thought that the more you more life you can have. Um, I was distracted by what I was watching when I had that thought, but it came from what I was watching, and it's interesting because if I was to think about my friend who passed to diabetes, feel the feels if this resonates with you, um, it was genetic from a young age for her, but was she careful otherwise? I think it varied. It's one of those things that's so hard. You know, there's so many. I mean, apparently refined sugars might be better than natural sugars, But there's so much sugar in so many things, and things are so tempting. And if you don't have a routine where you have a midday nap and you need coffee, and feel like you need sugar, which I mean, I'm not saying I don't understand the psychology of it or even that I don't do it, um, you know, then you'd be yeah. But I think it's about kind of just even scaling back a little bit can make a powerful difference. Like actually in this video, I knew I was having coffee. I wanted to have something with it, whether it needed anything with it or not, is a different matter. But I wanted to have something with it, so I had, and they weren't mini ones. They weren't huge, but average sized cupcakes. So I just had a bit of it. Um, yeah, if I'm making it a bit less, that's probably not right enough. Um, and that's a reminder I need to always carry with me. To be honest, her passing really has put that in place for me. But whoops. I don't know if I'm just because he likes to multitask and look at things on a screen, which we're not seeing. I suppose I'm doing that too, and he is pretty good at balancing and watching for his viewers too. But I think I'm a little better at. And so I don't know if I skipped and missed his reply or what. But so the other thing, I'm just looking at my what I wrote over here. Um, I had okay. No, he did it without saying anything, without anything to me. And things can kind of move rapidly. Like one moment there can be nobody there, and the next minute there can be one, two, or more than one. So, yeah. Um, that's why I didn't have on that, but in the UK it is later. I can already tell you're going to be distracting. You've already been out there. So, no, you can go upstairs now. Problem and all, but it's a little bit distracting if you're going to be noisy. And for anonymity reasons, for the most part. Oh, I wonder if it wouldn't even be indicating. that a certain someone I'm thinking of is even watching, because there's a bit of a way that I have to go see his comments or their comments. I'm not sure gender. Um, I feel like that may have been the answer. Whether it was the answer I was really waiting for or wanting, I don't know. But before I switch over, and I will say to the potato man though, if you are here, it's not indicating it one way or another. I believe we met via Dave, and I'm just waiting to hear his response to something in his live. It's otherwise quiet here, but I will switch to the. Well, he did say, he did ask, how am I? He did say, hey. So whatever it was, he didn't seem to be bothered, by me being there. He asked me to tell him something. I don't know if he's talking to me or not. But I'm the only recent. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say, I'm just typing something really quickly to something. Okay. There is quite a few comments that I wasn't seeing. I think this guy was on mine. I don't know. I want them. See, Rico's been in his twice now. And yeah, that's definitely where mine was in the other one. When I came in here, it's not there. But when I went to the other one, it didn't look like it was there. So strange. Come on, peeps. I can only roll in the evening, so let's make it evening and weekend. But I mean, we're near the top of the week, so thank you for the third like. I'm curious who we got watching, who's given it. It's already indicating that the person is not still there, but I know it's already indicating that there is somebody there now. And sometimes it's all well, not all inaccurate, but we actually got two. Hi, Dave. How are you? So I'm glad that you're calling me friend. I'm glad that you're asking how I'm doing and this and that. I'm sorry. I was trying to listen to it. I had the radio on very lightly, the fan, and I'm running this. So if you gave an answer to my comment, I didn't hear it. And I'd still like to know. I'm still curious. Um, as far as house life, about the same. Thankfully, tolerable in some areas, decent. In other areas, I'd like improvement. It's been harder than I would like it to be. Getting there. Um, I'm gonna wait on that one because I just am. I am trying to say something about a Michael that I know. Not what does he go by? Not Labs. Alrighty, did you make the? Well, I wasn't a mod. I wasn't a mod. It was that you did on two different occasions, maybe even three. And you didn't say anything. I didn't know why it happened. It wasn't like you put it into slow mode either. I can manage that one. Usually. And thanks for asking. I mean, yeah, I had a doctor's appointment with him. He told me or I had a phone appointment with him. It was really weird. I've been meaning to actually check my emails because I'm pretty sure that the appointment was supposed to be for this. Would have been today, I guess. Is today Tuesday? Yes, I think today's Tuesday. However, he called on like Friday. Initially, my appointment was supposed to be Thursday, but even doctors get sick. And he'd already been sick for a few days. And yeah, the only thing he said was that my cholesterol was a little high. He knows I'm taking supplements, and everything else was good. And I mean, I guess it's just my neuropathy and my anemia. And as long as it doesn't get any worse and I'm stabilizing it, then I have noticed I haven't needed that on at all. So this is a nice thick shirt with a good, tall collar on it. And but yeah, yeah. Just looking at. I appreciate it, and I'm glad that you're here having a nice chat. I do feel like we're kind of shoving my question under the rug, though, a little bit. I'm answering yours. I'm also going to tilt this a little bit because, yeah, then I can see a little bit. That's important. It's a content creator. A lot of us post online. A lot of us, yeah, are kind of content creators. I do have to go to the kitchen soon and cook. I asked that, out of curiosity because I really do, I'm happy that there's no actual issue, but you do admit that you did it, and I'm just wondering why. I don't think it's a matter of something I have up on my screen that I'm wanting to mention, but I'm wanting to wait to hear from you on that first. So I'm just looking at. Oh, so that was actually something I had wondered. That was something I had wondered. So honestly, it might just be good to check on this channel, and we can just chat here. And you have the other way to reach me. The comfortable giving to you. The second person that's here now, so welcome. Because yes, I've noticed that. I mean, the one was that underage one that I don't even think you realize, and I know you unmodded, and I think there's only one other one that's a little unsure. But anyway, yeah, I'm glad that you understand me. Yeah, maybe it's both that we're on the with disabilities spectrum, possibly autism spectrum. I don't know. Yeah, I'm glad that we got that figured out. Yeah, because I realized that it may not have been the owner of the channel, but a mod that had done it. So, and that's kind of what you were saying. Because yeah, basically, so I roll every day. I still don't have a device. I'm hoping to be lucky into getting one without too much more hassle, but I still don't have a device so that I can roll during the day. And Mark and Kelly don't roll every day, and I've been binge watching a show lately, actually. So I mean, there's that. But otherwise, it's evenings and weekends. So almost daily, for the routine. So just hit the notification bell if you haven't already done so, and you'll see when I'm posting. Yeah, and I understand you're being genuine, and I appreciate that. Not related to that at all, but just something that I came up for me when I was watching something, and it must have been that particular video. I was binge watching this show, like I say, and something came up, and again, not related to you and I, at least, because we have since addressed this just now. But just in a general way. Like I'm thinking of my friend who passed away almost a year ago now, a little more than a year now, and we'd kind of been out of touch. Um, and it's true, even when I ran into her over the summer, I mean, it was during a festival where there was, lots of other things going on for me, that I was enjoying. And I didn't, and plus she'd said she'd gotten out of the hospital. Uh, I hadn't processed fully that she even said she was in the hospital. Also, I think after I saw her, I actually do think I sent her on where I was able to, and she never saw it. That being said, if I was to look that up, I feel like I've done that before. I'm a little bit curious. I've always wanted to go to that psychic and crystal fair. But basically, what the what the thought was is that I feel like forgiveness was stronger from her on that, and maybe others will relate to this in their own lives, um, than it was for myself. Which is interesting because I never thought that I hadn't forgiven myself. But since she passed, it is kind of like, okay, what was I coming into my inbox for? Oh, right. It was although it keeps crashing. It was kind of like, maybe it probably is a little bit that, but what I think I've noticed before is that it's more. I mean, now we're fine. She passed away, and she's passed away, and I mean, this is just this example, and I feel her, spiritual presence. But maybe it's I haven't. No, I've forgiven her. I have. What would I be forgiving myself for? That is the question. Like I say, in the moment when I was watching whatever I was watching, it made sense. I don't even know if I remember which video it was now because, like I say, it was all little short videos from a show, and I don't think I remember which one it was within. It does remind me of her forgiveness, which I feel like she's saying isn't even a question. Like of course she does. Um, I think maybe what it more is regret. Thanks for the fourth like, by the way. I think it's more regret that I can't see her in the physical anymore. Yeah, I think I am looking at that a little bit. But again, very thankful to feel her angelic presence around still, and that's what we got until I pass. I'm curious who the fourth light came from. Don't be shy. Oh, I'm also going to look on my other device here because yes, it's potato. So just a moment here. I haven't missed too much. Yeah, I see that. Same from my dad too. Can you elaborate on that? I'd be curious. Um, Thank you, potato. Uh, I don't think a chick would say "Hey man," but maybe they would, especially if they're a potato. uh, yeah. Okay. Cool. You guys keep me on my potatoes. Man, this shirt was clean, I thought, when I put it on, but it's got something on it now, and I don't know what it is. But anyway. So, yeah, what do you mean by that about your dad there, Dave? We've got four of you watching, and I wish I was cooking something more interesting for dinner. As you can see, I'm cooking right now, right? Just kidding. I'm cooking up ideas. No, I think I'm just going to be making noodles. I think G is probably bored of chicken. I was going to suggest he make a grilled cheese, but he technically had a sandwich at lunch. I think he was just trying to make it less chickeny the other day by putting it in bread. Regret for not taking care of him sooner. But what does Jenna? Don't. Please don't take this the wrong way as in a judgment or anything like that. But Sorry, I'm just reading Potato's comment. But what does different generations have to do with anything? Unless you're saying that there was a part of you that he didn't accept, and so you kind of ignored. I don't want to say your responsibility, that like that it's a must. Like when my mother gets to be at that point, I think what you mean to say with that is you're not entirely, but largely your social life is online, and he didn't want to connect with you that way, and that's what felt most comfortable. Oh, wait a minute. No, see, why is it doing this? This stupid. Oh, no. He was a car person, and I'm not. Okay. Thanks for the fifth like. Um, uh, I mean, I understand we want to be like others and be liked by others. And of course, we largely can be. We got to accept that there's going to be some differences, though, too. It's just, are they to a point where it's uncomfortable or you're too different, whether it's a family member or a friend. Um, but yeah, thinking about mine, we'll put home care in place, and I think she'd manage to do that. But she's very independent. This is the thing. But I don't drive. I'm not got a large income. Um, so what can I do? Vehicle cruise, hockey. NASCAR is. Oh, you too, eh, Potato? NASCAR is driving. In fact, I don't want to say I hate NASCAR. You'd never get me into one of those cars because it's just, I mean, the doors don't even open properly. I think you climb through the window. Uh, so I have a very interesting story. My mother is back dating someone that she dated in the 70s. Must have been 60s or 70s because she was with my dad in the 80s. Um, and they were at a car show, actually longer ago than it seems like, but when I do some math in my head, probably about 9 or 10 years ago, and recognized a car that they used to own. And they're actually going to an event on the 31st or the 21st, I believe. And there's going to be a band playing at it. And they invited me, but I've got another event, even though it's a short one, that I'm really looking forward to going to. And I think I figured out the transportation piece of it. If it wasn't winter, and maybe by then it'll be warm enough I can actually just walk. I hadn't even thought of that. I also must get my bike fixed, although I don't know if there'd be a place for my bike there. But yeah, basically, um, then yeah, I can't go to both because they have to be on their way to it, and it's outside of the city a little bit. Long car rides with them, yeah, especially both of them, and then also with G. But then, and also, you would hit. I almost want to tell you, is it just Potato and David we have here right now? Although it's being very wonky, my device. But anyway, so no, that was third. So yeah, but okay, now it's just one here, and I'm hoping that it's David or possibly Potato, because I think Potato, you seem like a pretty cool potato. It's almost a guy. It says two now. I was trying to load something up on my device, but it's being very slow. Uh, uh, where I'm trying to load it, and that's the only one I have it on. I did want to. What do you mean by my best place to be? Okay, like, would you like to be? Where would you be now if you could be anywhere? Oh, I see. Well, thank you. Um, well, that's a hard question. That's about as hard of a question as the Q&A sticker a moment ago. Something you would ask your future self. It's like, what? Huh? Oh my gosh, it's 8 o'clock. I gotta get into the kitchen. I'm not doing any fancy cooking, but I also hopefully I won't be too tired to eat. Oh, I guess I'm going to have to bring the laptop with me unless David can put through all the comments that Potatoes getting, because I can only view them via my laptop. But then that one came through with the symbol, and I have a feeling it's not the word that you said. What you said is, oh, L.A. Okay, it was like, what's law? Um, I'll bring it out with me. Why not, eh? I don't know. Definitely not fishing. I find that gross personally. I don't like to eat fish, and I just no. Sunbathing. I get warm easy, but I wouldn't hate sunbathing. You know, with sunscreen. Good song, by the way. Um, Eating amazing food in an expensive restaurant. Yeah, probably mostly that one. After sunbathing, beaches are sexy, especially the outlets. I mean, of course, possibly shopping. Um, I'm guessing the ones that you suggested would be yours, Potato. Is that correct? Shopping, but I have lots of stuff. I don't need much. I'm surprised G's work has gotten so quiet because it's give stuff away. Um, just asking, trying to get to know me. No, I mean I understand. I do that too. I ask lots of questions to get to know. So I'm going to use this as a tripod. Get to know my ceiling for a moment. Ugh. Kind of not looking forward to a heavy dinner, but whatever. That's what we got, so that's what we're gonna have. Oh. Now I'm kind of sick of garlic after eating so much garlic, but it is something to add to. It makes it nice. Because it's me, and otherwise. Thank you. Yeah, just noodles. Just noodles and potatoes. Gnocchi. Just kidding. No key, so I can't lock the door. I should see if the door is locked, actually. No, just kidding. But they call those potato dumplings. I'm not sure if I see it. They, to me, more seem like pasta dumplings. Yeah, I eat too many carbs, though, but I didn't know what else to make. Now I am a bit chilly, so I'm just going to put on my little scarf thingamajiggy, and it's going to be great. And I think I'll put on my socks. Yeah, he's probably good till about 8:15, 8:20 anyway, so sorry I keep going off the screen there. Potatoes are such a versatile food. They're so starchy, though. The other two are welcome to join in, too. Yeah, they're so starchy, and I don't eat them very often. Occasionally a mashed potato, and occasionally another potato, but I'm really not much of a potato eater. Or a potato farmer, for that matter. Are you a potato farmer? Outside of your florist work? And I hate that he washes those things and then puts them wet on the stove top, so I have to hear it sizzle. Now, what am I going to do with the pasta other than eat it? I'm going to put some garlic in it. If I can find and locate the pouch of curry, I can. Here it is. Maybe chili powder. Yeah, I don't know that way, but I'll take that because I'm most masculine. And that's what I'm presenting. They don't farm themselves. I'm really surprised Bob and Fran is still alive. Yeah, so, and then garlic. And then also the plant-based stuff. So it's getting fancier by the minute. There was something else I was thinking of putting this with. I can't remember what. Other than maybe a taco. Can't figure it out, so it's okay. Or do they? Well, they do grow, and nature helps, right? Anyway, so yeah, I'm not sure. I did like some of your answers, obviously. Otherwise, out in the country, maybe. Some fantasy land, maybe. I don't know. I would like to spend a few moments though talking about that question, that thing, what would you ask your future self? I think my mind is thinking, well, if I get there, I won't have to ask. I think it's the way that it was asked, that the way that that question sounds. If it was worded differently, I might be able to answer it better. I'm not sure. What do you think? What is something that comes to mind for you? Yeah, none of that's going to take very long. So, I have an interesting one that just came to mind, though. I have an interesting one. Question I would ask my future self: how on earth were you able to be so patient while waiting to get here where you've always wanted to be? Um, it's not that life is slow all the time for me. And I have had, things that I use to distract myself. Some people may say if you're not where you want to be, and again, this is only in some areas. Just a moment. We have 4 of you here. Don't be shy, y'all. And if I'm not addressing somebody's comments, can you? Well, I don't know if I'd want to know. If I'm not seeing them, then I mean, I don't know why, and I may not want to, what I'm not seeing. But yeah, maybe that I need to do things that aren't distracting to get there, and I'm trying. I'm looking into some workshops. Um, some of them aren't free. I should look at agency ones because they usually are. Although I'm not really actively involved in any agency right now. I'm always learning, and always, focused on my growth and helping others to grow and better. Because we all can, for the most part, I feel like. And I still don't drive. I still don't have a ton of money. So, I mean, that's not likely changing. I still couldn't work in certain environments. I still, any job you apply, there's going to be other people applying too. I mean, to make yourself stand out, are you making yourself stand out in a way that they're going to favor or not? And do you have the background they're looking for? And is it accessible? Usually the answers to that, or most of those, are no for me. So I've been in a bit of a stuck mode where, I'm trying to make things happen, keep my eyes open for opportunities, stay optimistic, and yeah. I'd ask my future self if I've done anything better. That's a good one. What kind of things do you think maybe you could be doing better if we were happy being where we are? See, that's where it's kind of a mind-bending thing for me. Because I'm thinking, that's another example of I'm thinking, once you're there, you'll know if you're happy or not. I have thought that, though. I have thought that there are many things that maybe I would like to do, but once I actually did them, would I enjoy them? Would I get bored too easily? Would I find it too much to work with in that? And the answer is possibly. Every day is the day to better yourself. We are constantly learning, for sure. As a person on disability, so I'm reading on the other screen, as you know. Myself, I get to the gym a few days a week, and that's the thing, and that's the real hard and sad part. Speaking about people that have some sort of disability, that might not be super obvious out, to the outside, or that again, some of the struggles I named, one or both of you or any other people might relate to. Of course, Dave, you do drive, and that's a real blessing. It truly is. But that being said, I think that we have lots of things we could do. And I guess we do what we can by being streamers and that. And, there's a part of me that feels like I've kind of brushed past the stuff about your dad you were kind of alluding to as well, and I feel like maybe we should go back to that for a moment. Um, but it's hard. It's hard to get there, isn't it? It's one thing to think, I'd like to do that, I could do that. It's another thing to get to do it, right? Um, and yeah, it takes a lot of strength to get through those difficulties. I make too much money. That's not something I thought I'd hear you say, Dave. Okay. Um, they just don't. I don't work. Need to work. So I just luck, I guess. I think what you're saying is you're comfortable. You are getting disability government assistance. It sounds like, and so you become comfortable. And I relate to having been there in my life. I guess I'm kind of there now too. Um, well, I mean, like I'm not having a consistent enough income to not have it, so I'm glad that I do again. Yes, and we have to check our tax forms to see if it went, gee, that payment that we're supposed to be getting or what. Yeah, what kinds of stuff are you struggling with, Potato? I'm curious as far as what we might relate to. Yeah, but I mean, as long as somebody has empathy and understanding, I think that we don't have to have been through it or be going through it to know. It's sad to think that it might be a lifelong condition in some ways, right? Yeah, I think we do relate. Like, are you talking about mental health stuff? I'm not going to say, not because I am afraid to or whatever, but we do have a third person watching who um, isn't the two that are commenting. And I saw something in my news feed on another site randomly that I would like to speak about for a moment. It was about the LGBT community, including those on the gender spectrum. And it was about some people thinking that they were mental. Sure, they may struggle with mental health issues, but for the most part, I would say that hopefully and somewhat likely, anybody who is LGBT is probably fairly happy. I mean, I shouldn't say, I mean, definitely there are some that aren't for whatever reason. But I think if somebody is comfortable with their identity and they have good connections, um, then then they, yeah. Um, and I mean, I don't want to be rude to anybody. However, anybody who thinks that is kind of rude, to think that, that they need to be in a mental institution or whatever. And I'll just tell you this much. I think it's more the person thinking that. It might be internalized homophobia. I'm not sure what it is, but it's just a thought I had because I saw something and then something made me think of it. Well, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Oh, do you? Oh, how long have you had that for? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And you're young. So those are health conditions. I guess that means the disability MS certainly is. I think you know that that's likely a progressive disorder. And whew, promise me visit me from the other side, and hopefully you don't die anytime soon. Social anxiety and generalized, yes, I relate to that. Wasn't mean to make you anxious in what I said. Also, metastatic thyroid cancer in your lungs. Yeah, that's where I would have guessed the thyroid was. My mother has a thyroid condition. That all sound, I don't know how you're working, but you are. I mean, but again, some people are more sensitive to the things that their body are doing. Have you tried plant medicine by any chance? Some people are more sensitive in that way. Or maybe they just have to get used to having those conditions. Um, um, and sometimes it's a nice distraction. Maybe you're working limited hours. If you can luck into a good fit. Oh yeah, dog almost ate garlic the other day. I don't think garlic has to be washed. I've never really thought of it. Give it a quick rinse. Um, hesitant but slightly curious to ask where the PTSD comes from. And I think C stands for chronic. Diagnosed by a therapist, but not by a psychiatrist. Part of me wonders why that point, why you specified that. You are, Dave? Seriously? I never, for some reason, I never would have guessed that with you. I'm almost hesitant to say, could that have been a misdiagnosis? But I mean, I don't mean to minimize it if it's something that you were for sure that you had. So easy to get it. Plus, genetics, like I say. So I think you got to do, again, same with diabetes, you got to do what you best can to manage it. That way that you can have a quality of life, whether or not you end up having the longest quantity of life. You know, yeah, I've got to watch with the liver and stuff too. But yeah, I'm curious what the PTSD came from, because I can try and help you through it if it's not too deep. Otherwise, I hope that you are still seeing a therapist. But at the same time, I am a big believer of one knows themselves best, and so part of me would say, you're saying you're diagnosed with that. Do you feel you have it, or are you just kind of going by the fact that they said that you do, so they must be right? Again, not trying to minimize it, but and that is absolutely wild, potato. A wild potato, I tell you. Since you were 10, sounds like that was genetic. Since you were 10, yeah, I've been hearing about some kids that had some. I was watching Long Island Medium. Basically, I was binging on Long Island Medium. And, yeah, there are some kids that have been through some sad things. Although the one I heard was not a health issue. It had only been 3 months, I think. Her brother and her were at her grandmother's house. Hi, all 5 of you. I know 2 or 3 of you here. I can't roll super much longer, but feel free to introduce yourself. And hopefully before we wrap up, you'll wish to subscribe. Now it says 3, but anyway. And her and her mother were in the, her and her grandmother and brother were in a house fire. And it sounds like she tossed him out the window, and when they found the rebel, they found body holding on to the granddaughter. I can't remember what the other boys' situation was, but anyway. Cancer, since that's young. And the other reason why I had the reaction that I had there is because my friend had the diabetes since she was 10. Feel the feels. If it resonates, feel free to let me know with anybody other than the couple people that I see in the chat here, because there's 4 of you here. Don't forget to like. Introduce yourself. Where you're watching from, how you came across the channel. I have to figure out what I might title this later, because I really didn't give it much of one. Maybe health, wellness. I mean, that's a big part of what this channel is about anyway. Again, potato, just a reminder, if ever I'm not seeing your comments on any videos, hopefully Dave is here or somebody tells me, it could just be that I don't have it open on my computer and I'm not thinking to. But today I was like, I should do that. And I'm pretty mindful of it. It's like, because potato might be there causing ruckus. Just kidding. Right? So I'm going to just dump these into there. I'm going to put this in. I'll stop going back and forth in just a moment. I'm just obviously cooking. Obviously. And I hope I'll have an appetite. I've eaten very well today. And I am a little bit tired. And I've kind of been munching through the afternoon on pizza, actually. I've been going to pizza. So, what I'm going to try. Today I'm going to try to change the world. Going to take it one step at a time. Da, 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 da. Today I'm going to try to... Anyway, twice in your liver. How does one recover the liver in that way? So many crazy online claim to have mental health issues for a What? What was it? Something I said or something that's in the comment that made you say that you've seen too many crazy people claiming to have? Again, I feel people know themselves best. If something is going on and they feel something is going on, mental health related, it probably is. Doesn't have to be diagnosed necessarily. Um, a diagnosis can help confirm things, but a diagnosis can also be wrong. You know, um, and sometimes it's a cry for help, not just attention. So I didn't think I had, and you haven't exactly accepted me, but I wasn't sure where that comment came from. I'm not too sure why you think it to be the case. And yeah. Ah, yeah, well, and I'm in divorce, though, and I think it's very, very risky to put oneself in those types of conditions, especially when you do have a close family and a family that would rather you be doing something else. I mean, there's always a risk, but there's more of one then, and it's not a way to resolve conflict. And do they even know what the conflict is, or they're just doing it because things are cool? Sorry, I know I know other people feel this as well, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people I feel are brainwashed, and we don't have to get into that. But yeah, you're saying various things, and yeah, and you know what? Now I would like to. I know that I can't roll super much longer in this, but I believe it's just you two commenting. That's all I'm seeing. I guess I could go back up here to make sure that it's showing top comments. But before I wrap up, I would like to. Uh, I would like to see if I can help you heal from one of your PTSDs. So I'm not meaning to say that one might be easier than some of the others, but if there's one that you think could be easier, then I'd really, really be honored to try and help you with that before I wrap up. But that's a long time you've been going there. I hope she sees that you've made improvements. Well, I mean, it's not saying they don't, if they're good, and they must be. If you've been going there for 10 years, you found a good fit, especially if you're still going there. But still, my offer still stands, and I really would find it an honor and, be healing for both of us if you could say one that I could try and help with. But other than that, they know their stuff too, you know. But I'm not going to say that it's solely because of a degree. I'm going to say that it could also be that they're also just an intelligent person. Let's be honest, how many of us remember textbooks that deeply? Let's be honest, folks. That's well done. Now the computer is where I'd put this, and it's Potato's fault. Just kidding. That's also the fault that we have too many pots and pans. But that one it can't get stuck in, so that's a good thing. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Yeah, I think you're going to add some seasonings to it because that'll make it that much better. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. What are you having? Just don't tell me if it's seafood because I'll go, ugh. Didn't find that inspirational. I'm okay tonight, friend. Yeah, so remember, it's nothing personal. I enjoy having you here. When I noticed. Have to get going, even though it's so late. How late is it where you're at? And also, sorry, for those that don't know, I'm following the comments on this screen because one of them only shows on this screen. One of the people. Or should I say potatoes? Keeps going up though. Okay, well that's pretty simple and basic. Yeah, last thing I want, even though I'm still going to be having cheese sauce and it's a weeknight and it's getting late, so I don't think I'm going to make sauce, but I'm still going to be having sauce and the longer that these flavors meld into it, the stronger they'll be. Whoops. Herb chicken in a can. I shouldn't have bought it. The herb chicken sounded interesting. 9:30. Okay, so you're an hour. Well, we got 5 people here. Please like. I appreciate it. The support. Well, I mean, if you're able to multitask, I mean, pizza pops are pretty easy to put in the microwave and then eat and listen. A bit for me, but for my work days and because of a festival, believe it or not. I hope they have good food trucks this year. But I'd be happy to help. Oh, do you? Okay, because I have ARFID. And that covers a lot. I wouldn't. I guess it is an eating disorder, but to me, it doesn't feel strongly like one. Although I am going to have a B12 vitamin as well tonight because and I'm going to splash myself with curry because why not? Splashing myself with curry because I'm in a hurry. But little things like potato, if you're still there, garlic is a very healthy food. Some people say it's healthier if it sits for a few minutes, to the air, or it's a healthy. I guess it's a food. Some people will just eat a handful of raw garlic, but you can cook with it, and if you don't like it, you can kind of disguise it easily too. So yeah, like I say, 8:30. Because remember, Dave, who I haven't heard you say anything for a little while, you're probably on your stream. I'm not exactly in Edmonton, but I'm pretty close. But I am a different time zone. Yeah, is it Arford that you meant? Here, a special potato. I wasn't going to go that far, but I'm just kidding. Yeah, because you used YouTube. That is pretty special indeed. I don't know if it's going to cook. I almost feel like I need to add more butter, but I thought I put a lot in. So what it means, hopefully Jake's music is good. And he's not at a gig, so I don't have to be jealous. Oh, right. I have garlic. Right. Speaking of garlic. As our onions. Yeah. I think they're of the same family, aren't they? And startling crying, you keep just cutting onions. So, I actually have a cousin who had MS, and he was a big fan of garlic. I know that sounds weird because a lot of people probably are big fans of garlic, but he was really a big fan of garlic. Oh, I've got my stream, your stream. Who else are you watching? How the heck are you able to do that? But he does do it respectfully. I mean, sometimes I wouldn't mind, but he doesn't play it out loud. He just has the caption, which may not always be accurate and may not catch his attention on needed moments, but while trying to find it. Okay. Stringer. Yeah, so what else are you watching? And which is your favorite? And don't say yourself, because that's conceited. Pickles are good. I know some people will take this the wrong way. Oh, I have way more than 3 tabs open on my device. Way more. Holy mother of... God. That's not taking anything in vain. He does have a mother. Yeah, and speaking of, okay, there's 3 of you here, 2 of you I don't think will judge. So the other day I went out for lunch. And she gave me some of her leftovers because, well, I'm not big about egg, but I know that they're healthy. And it was an egg sandwich. And huge pieces, like each side was like a giant. She even cut the half in half. And I had a little bit. I thought, okay, I'm going to try and save the rest for tomorrow or whatever. And then I had it later today. Basically, we'll just have them with something. I'm sure it'll be fine. And ranch. Now, I don't know if I've ever had that. I'm going to have to try that. I actually do have some ranch. And I do have the pickle that I'm alluding to. Anyway, so she tossed in her pickle, too. And I think it was a full pickle, although I remember it only being a half pickle last time I looked at it, and I didn't eat any of it. But I think it was kind of an afterthought about giving it to me, so she thought it was going to be for her at first. Like she wasn't trying to give me a pre-percentage. I don't think I'm paying attention. I think I started a second spoon. Oh, I see. Pickles and ranch on a potato. Potato. Now we're talking. Woo! Are you able to hear? Okay. So I'm going to be having dinner very, very soon. I'm thankful that you stayed for a little bit. And there's 4 of you here. I really hate to wrap up. Again, to the other 2, if you don't want to say anything, if you don't want to, okay, now there's just one additional one. I don't want to judge or force it, but at the same time, I'm thinking, why not? Am I that? Do I seem like I'm that uptight or that whatever? And I'm thinking, as long as you're having happy and good thoughts. But if they're negative and judgy, watch something you'd rather watch. Other than that, though, if you are enjoying yourself, like the other day, I wrapped up, and I think there was 2 people that said about 4 or 5 things each, and I may have put 1 or 2 things, so that's what, like 12 or whatever, and it said there was 20 comments. So maybe, because I may have forgotten to do it last night. Potato, were you watching me last night? Okay, that got kind of odd. I don't tell me whether you're joking or not, and I'm just going to assume that you are, but it's one of those things when you say to someone, don't. So I don't know who the other one came from. When you say to someone, because some people don't think well being ignored, but I didn't know I was ignoring them. It was so weird. But, it's part of the routine. It's nice to have some company and the social aspect when I'm feeling the stronger need for it. But, it's one of those things when you say to somebody, are you joking or not? Don't tell me, or don't tell me if you like this. Or if they don't tell you, does that mean that they like it then? Or they're just not telling you either way because you asked them not to, But yeah, I'm going to assume that you're joking and let's leave it at that because bacon is an odd name for a cat. Though it does make me think of that show I saw once in the weird ferret things that some people do in the world. Okay, almost broke my garlic bread, but I didn't. And I have got to focus on. I think I put the chili in there. I have got to focus on what I'm doing. There's not much more to do about it, to be honest. Ow. Yeah, I gotta make that cake last 2 or 3 more days. Well, I had a realization about the weekend, which I feel mixy about. Okay, well, now we know that your cat's name is actually Bacon. Maybe it'll make a bit more sense if you tell me how the naming came about. Like, I like bacon, I have a cat. Made sense to me. No, but seriously. Seriously, though. Is there more to it than that? No, not really. Sun's in the sky. But not so am I. We have a dog. Pretty much. Oh, God. Well, I guess if people call you Potato because you're round and maybe you're tan and maybe every now and then you have a white hat on that looks like sour cream or something, I don't know, then maybe with green specks for green onions or whatever, then they're like, you know what's good with potatoes? Bacon. Oh, by the way, I got a new cat. Hey, you should name it Bacon. Please tell me that. Please tell me that's what it was. They're like, okay, I'm suggestible. Anyway, on that note, it's taking me way longer than it should to find tomato sauce. And because you have a cat named Bacon, I'm going to choose the vodka sauce because I need to drink away the weirdness. Even if it's just in the sauce, which is what it would be. But, you know, I still like you and everything. I went through many names. Yeah, you know, we had a hard time settling on a name for our dog, too, but somehow Bacon came up. At first, I thought I couldn't name him Bacon. Okay, at least you're normal-ish then. You know, I mean, he was fully normal. Certainly not the one coming down the stairs. Good timing, by the way. The other thing is, could you open the door and let the dog go to that room?
Oh, you're close there.
Not really. Not by much. You were closer before you came down, but you were a little quick. But then it just made sense for no reason. Yeah. Anyway, well, delight, dispo, and share. There's your clue. Dispo, what? Yeah, sure. Okay. So, yeah, can you get him, please? Thank you. Because I'm down for the count. I'll feed him. But he can't come down just because he hears that, because I think I closed the door so that he wouldn't get into things.
If you don't let him out, I'll do up the bags.
If I must. But I don't even have to let them do no what.
I want to do these bags up because they're in my way, and they're always going to be crinkly.
Oh, they are, eh? I didn't know that. Okay, we'll look at that in a moment. Okay, so I'm not going to be seeing any further comments from Potato on this anyway. And the other two don't seem to be putting any. But I have to get away from the bags and do my thing very quickly and then take a few deep breaths, find a smidgen more of an appetite than I have now, and then I guess the evening will fly and we'll call it a day and we'll be up too early tomorrow to a place that's not even busy anymore. So have a good night and talk to you later.